as the one-year anniversary of the Family Reunification Task Force, as you know, Secretary Mayorkas has told NBC News that the White House is 100% supportive of permanent legal status for families separated at the border. Is that a true statement? Is that accurate?
We stand by Secretary Mayorkas.
The President has said in the past he does not believe that life begins at conception. When does he believe it begins?
You know the President's position. He believes in a woman's right to choose. And he's
Yes,
spoken to this in the past. So, and I know you ask this every time you come in here, which is, you're absolute right, but I don't think I have anything new to reveal for you.
The question is, when does he believe life begins? And it's central to the debate over the question of a baby's viability. And pro-life Americans, don't you agree, should know where the President stands in his thinking on this. It's a fundamental question.
The President believes in a woman's right to choose. Go ahead. I think we're going to move on unless you...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you.
What do you say to Republicans who say this is affirmative action?
Thank you. Let's go. Thank you. Let's go.
What do you say to Republicans who say this is affirmative action?
There's always a renewed national debate every time we nominate any president nominates a justice, because the Constitution is always evolving slightly in terms of additional rights or curtailing rights, etc., and it's always an issue.
But there's also huge existential questions hanging over the Supreme Court. Does the president plan to decide what he's going to do on Supreme Court reform before he makes his nomination?
He is reviewing the Supreme Court Commission report. I don't have a prediction of when he will conclude his analysis of that.
And I just asked because the report includes suggestions about things like changing the number of people on the court, and you would think he would want to know who, if he's going to increase the size of the court, who he's going to put on first, right?
I think, Trevor, his focus right now is on going through a process that takes it, that values the seriousness of the role he has as president, where he consults, as you saw today, with Democrats and Republicans, and to select and nominate an eminently qualified black woman to serve on the court. That's his focus right now.
Immigration policy has shifted within the White House from the campaign.
The 21st century. Hence, he obviously proposed an immigration bill on his first day in office. And beyond that, he has taken steps to protect DACA recipients, ended the Muslim ban and the public charge rule, put together the Family Reunification Task Force, restarted the Central American Minors Program that the previous administration ended, extended our newly designated temporary protected status for a number of countries, and worked with DHS to give clear guidance for internal enforcement. That we have also been very clear about our view on the MPP program and very clear on our view about the inhumanity of the prior administration and how they handled immigration, and that we had every intention of implementing a different approach.
On the expanded child tax credit.
Yep.
You have said time and again that this has taken lots of kids and families out of poverty.
Yeah.
A tremendous success there.
Yeah.
But with that now gone, looks like it's gone, dead. Inflation creeping up, high gas prices, high food prices, how quickly are those same kids and families going to go back into poverty? Do you fear?
What I can tell you is that as individuals who are eligible file their taxes, they will get the other half of the child tax credit benefit from last year. That is not a forever solution, but that...
Have a message for those struggling families very worried right now, not getting that extra $500 or $1,000 a month or whatever, that are saying, I can't afford the groceries, I can't afford the gas, this is getting very stressful. A message from the president to those families.
The president would say, I am here to fight for you, and that's why I'm going to continue to fight.
Sure. You said that President Biden has been looking at bios for some time now. How long has that been that he's been looking at bios of potential candidates?
Since last year.
So that was something that started in the transition process, or
no, since last year, not during the transition process.
And what prompted that for him to start looking at bios last year?
He takes his role incredibly seriously, and we certainly know, and he committed, of course, to the American people. He would nominate a black woman, a qualified black woman, to serve on the Supreme Court, and so he's just been reviewing a range of bios.
And Justice Breyer notified him on the 27th of January. Did he get advance notice before that?
I'm not going to get into any more details. If Justice Breyer wants to get into details about our communications, he can certainly do that.
The president's pledge to pick a black woman for the high court. How do you respond specifically to Ted Cruz, who overnight called it offensive and defensive to black women that would make that pledge?
Well, here's what I would say first. Just over a year ago, the previous president also promised to select a woman for the Supreme Court. Not only were there no complaints about choosing a nominee from a specific demographic from the same corners, but there was widespread praise of now Justice Barrett on those grounds, with Republican lawmakers widely highlighting that they thought this was positive for women in America. So take Senator Cruz himself. He had no objection to Donald Trump promising he'd nominate a woman in 2020. Repeat, no objection at all. In fact, he praised her on these grounds, the nominee.
Has he ever been ambushed by a cake?
Has the president ever been ambushed by a cake? Not that I'm aware of.
His reaction.
And you'll see the photo that I did take where Magic was kind enough, generous enough to ask me for a photograph. And in my left hand's the mask, and I took a photo. The rest of the time, I wore it.
Hey, Governor Phil Schuman with Fox 11. I know you probably want to make that the last word on this, but given your history with this issue, should you maybe have reconsidered taking the mask off for the photo, for the image, the message that it might send?
I mean, of course, I was trying to be gracious, and I made a mistake. I was trying to be gracious and took the mask off for a brief second, but
Magic.